Hello to you, our viewers. Welcome once again to an edition of the news here on Rwanda Television with me, Serish Nhore. I'll be sitting in for Sam Kalisa. Let us begin with the headlines. President Paul Kagame has met with a delegation from the Republic of Djibouti led by Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, that country's Minister of Foreign Affairs, who brought a message from that country's president. The plenary assembly of the Chamber of Deputies in Rwanda's parliament has adopted the draft revision of the constitution initiated by the President of the Republic. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente has received Edgar Sandoval, President of and CEO of World Vision US. Now the details. Thank you again for taking the time to join us. President Paul Kagame has met with a delegation from the Republic of Djibouti led by that country's Minister of Foreign Affairs, who brought a message from the President of Djibouti. They discussed the security situation on the Horn of Africa as well as the advancement of bilateral cooperation in areas of mutual interest with a focus on trade. The meeting followed the first joint ministerial commission meeting between Djibouti and Rwanda that took place earlier on Wednesday. Now, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Vincent Biruta, has announced that soon a study will be concluded that includes details of what Rwanda's land in Djibouti will be used for. Meanwhile, Rwanda is planning to start flights connecting Kigali to Djibouti. We have the details with Prince Manzi. These are some of the conclusions of the Joint Ministerial Commission between Rwanda and Djibouti meeting held in Kigali. MOUs in areas of diplomatic training, agriculture and tourism were signed. The two countries also previously allocated land to each other to be used in investment. The Rwanda Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Vincent Biruta, explains that there is an acceleration of the studies that include what the land on both sides will be used for and how the Rwanda will start flights connecting Kigali and Djibouti. Minister Biruta reiterates that the Joint Ministerial Commission was specifically established for following up on implementation of the signed agreements.
Our President, His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, and His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, President of the Republic of Djibouti, have tasked us to establish a joint ministerial commission which will follow up on the implementation of the signed MOUs and agreements and also propose new areas of cooperation.
In 2017, the two countries signed MOUs in air transport, investment, trade, technology and visa exemption of some travelers. The Foreign Minister of Djibouti, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, demonstrates that even if the implementation of the signed cooperation was hindered by the COVID-19, the implementation should be sped up for the benefits of Djibouti and Rwanda citizens.
La question de l'implémentation, la question de l'exécution est centrale. Je crois que
about the implementation of the MOUs, speeding it up is essential. We signed various MOUs, and they are not to be kept in offices. We want the signed agreements to be implemented as soon as possible, as it is the will of the heads of state.
Et qui puisse satisfaire les ambitions de nos deux pays, de nos deux dirigeants, de nos deux présidents.
The Joint Ministerial Commission of Djibouti and Rwanda consists of members of the public and private sectors. It concluded that it should convene frequently to analyze the implementation of the signed agreements and opportunities available on each side in trade and investment. The next meeting will be held in Djibouti next year. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News. The plenary assembly of the Chamber of Deputies in Parliament has adopted the draft revision of the Constitution initiated by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Kagame. Prince Manzi continues. On Wednesday, the Deputy Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies in the Rwandan Parliament, Edamu Kabagwiza, presented the plenary session the report including the analysis done on the revised draft of the law, enabling the synchronization of the Rwanda's parliamentary elections and the presidential elections slated for 2024.
Your Excellencies, let me first remind the reason of the Constitution amendment. The main reason is the harmonization of the parliamentary and the presidential election calendar. Synchronizing the said election will reduce the funds spent on these elections, and this will also save up time spent in the preparation of the elections.
Apart from the 75th and 79th articles concerning the members of the parliament mandate, the 66th article concerning the starting work calendar of members of the parliament was also amended from 15 to 30 days. The Minister of State in charge of Constitution and Legal Affairs in the Ministry of Justice, the Minister of State in charge of Constitution and Legal Affairs in the Ministry of Justice, Ambassador Solina Nyirahabimana, reiterates that amending the Rwandan Constitution is for the citizens' benefits.
Itegeko nshinga n'itegeko risumba ayandi mu gihugu.
The Constitution is above any other law in the country, meaning if the cooperation of various institutions is efficient, so is their productivity. The Parliament analyzes the performance of the government and they represent the population, and they follow up if the executive level comply with the laws as it should for the benefit of Rwandans. The Rwandan Constitution of 2003 was recently adjusted in 2015, but through referendum, after the request of the citizens who wrote for the parliament requesting for an adjustment of the Article 101 in the Constitution for re-electing President Paul Kagame. It is expected that the bill of law on amending the Constitution will be presented to the Senate chamber in the Rwandan parliament and proceed to other legal procedures. Synchronizing the parliamentary and presidential elections will save up to 7 billion Rwanda francs. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente has received in his office the President and CEO of World Vision US, Edgar Sandoval. The Prime Minister praised the work of World Vision in Rwanda, which includes providing clean water to communities, education, healthcare, and fighting poverty. Jessica Gasaro with the details. Edgar Sandoval, the president and the CEO of World Vision US, reiterates that he's proud of the fact that the organization he represents has contributed to raising the poor from poverty and the development of Rwanda in general. He declared that after being received by the Prime Minister and visiting various World Vision projects in Rwanda, he has good news for the American people.
We especially are celebrating that we reach 1 million people over the last 5 years with clean water. And that's an important part of our commitment that we made to the Prime Minister in 2018 to reach everyone, everywhere we work, with clean water. We feel honored and privileged to be invited to be part of it, and we take it very seriously. And we are very proud of what we're accomplishing together. It's been remarkable to see what has happened in Rwanda for the last 29, 30 years. And I believe Rwanda is an example to the rest of the world. One story that I'll take with me back to America is the story of a little girl named Mercy. Mercy had to walk to fetch water when there was no access to clean water near her. And she would spend hours doing that. She would be late to school, and she couldn't concentrate when she got to school. So she wasn't doing well in school. She told me she was 20th, almost last in her classroom. And then once the water was near her, she was able to go to school on time, and now she has skyrocketed to be second in her classroom, and she wants to be a doctor. So I take home all these stories of the tremendous progress.
Currently, World Vision's headquarters in East Africa is located in Rwanda. Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Professor Nshuti Manasseh, states that it is a good sign of the activities of this organization that support the government of Rwanda in lifting the people out of poverty.
And that was a vote of confidence in our country to move the whole region headquarters from Nairobi to Kigali. And of course, they have done a relocation, both of the equipment and stuff. So they are now operating in Rwanda. Now, they do many things. So they intervene in many sectors. In education, where they give scholarship to our children. They also in health, where they support our medical facilities and clinics. But they also do another important role, provide provision of water. So they have reached almost 1 million people who are getting access to water through our division, which is a big investment and of course an opportunity for us in Rwanda. In addition to that, they also help the poor to get out of poverty. They have intervention programs to help our poor people to get out of poverty. And so far they have had about 30,000 who have been shifted from extreme poverty to really people that are living with economic means. So we appreciate what they are doing, and we have promised the partnership to be supported to encourage them to live in much more.
To date, 1 million people have been provided with clean water by World Vision. In particular, 95,000 households in the 3 sectors of the shelter areas have access to clean water in the WASH program. Jessica Agasaro, RTV News.
Thank you, Jessica. Now, as part of his two-day working visit here in Rwanda, the Minister of Foreign and European Affairs and Trade of Malta, Dr. Ian Borg, has visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial at Gisozi and paid tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi buried there. The minister pointed out that the world should learn from Rwanda's history to ensure a better future for all.
I hope that at least these people that were killed were an eye-opener for the rest of the world, and that yes, we all commit ourselves to never see this happen again, but we should, all of us, do our utmost not to let anyone fuel hate speech, not to let anyone fuel racism, inequalities, and that is why Malta has always been for peace, for dialogue, for upholding the United Nations charters and international law.
The city of Kigali has more than 5,000 families that have to be immediately relocated from high-risk zones. Some have already begun moving as the rainy season continues. 5,191 families have been advised to relocate immediately. The city of Kigali has noted that back in 2016, the population of people living in improper settlements was at 30,000. Some have since moved and settled in modern settlements, while others remain. Very important matters there. Now, the Ministry of Youth and its partners, these being the Imbuto Foundation, UNDP, COICA, and the European Union, organized an event to launch the Aguka program and award prizes to the participants of the Youth Connect competition. Aguka's 4-year program aims to help aspiring entrepreneurs to expand their ideas, helping to create employment opportunities. The program is expected to help up to 100,000 people to find jobs.
The Imbuto Foundation, we believe that when youth are engaged, educated, and given the right tools for the self-actualization, they will come forward with new ways of thinking and an active approach to problem-solving, whatever the challenge might be. It is therefore a great honor to be associated with the Joint Youth Program, which sees today the launch of the Agoka program and the awarding of innovative ideas under the Youth Connect initiative. And as youth who are between the ages of 16 to 30 represent almost a third of the Rwandan population, we believe it is imperative to have our youth at the forefront of our development strategy, and we believe the Agoka program will contribute to that vision.
On her part, the Minister of ICT and Innovation, Paula Ingabire, told the youth that in participating in the Aguka program, they are required to have good ideas and should be ready to implement quality projects.
Just share a few things. One, our excitement to be part of this program that supports the development of youth-led SMEs and ideas, but most importantly, to emphasize the need of Aguka. In the English language, it's growing, it's scaling, and I think for many of you that are in the midst of us, in one way or the other, you've started a business, you have an idea that you're thinking about, you have a venture that you're working on, but I think it's not enough that we stay with ideas. The importance is that we're able to grow the ideas to the next level. And really that's the essence of the program that we have today. For us here is to understand how best as partners in government, in the private sector, in the civil society, development partners, how we can work together to support you to grow.
Well, that's the news, but stay with Rwanda Television for more programs. I'm glad you were able to join us. Goodbye.